Hey, good afternoon, you all. God bless you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm down here this afternoon, you guys, in the blacksmith shop. Outside temperature, you guys, is 22 degrees. The wind is howling. And the wind chill factor out there is now, I think it's about 2 below zero. It's right outside the forge there. I even see some snow inside where it's blowed down the chimney of my forge. So I got a couple of flint strikers that I need to make you guys, and I thought I'd just, since you all ain't doing nothing anyway, I thought I'd just take you all along for the ride. We'll talk about it. I'll do you some close-ups and show you how I do it again, just for general purposes. So let me get the forge fired up here, and we'll get at it. I've showed you all this before, but this is what I use to make flint strikers out of, okay? This is spring steel. This is high carbon spring steel. That's the kind of a spring that makes those big old garage doors go up and down in the neighborhood, okay? So here's a piece of it I've already got cut off. One thing I want to show you about that is here just a few days ago, you guys, I made a striker out of that right there. Well, now it's in two pieces. And I actually dropped that striker, you guys, on the floor up at the house, and that striker broke in two, okay? Well, I got the striker too hard, okay? That's what you can do with spring steel. So spring steel, you have to experiment with it to see how hard it can get at a certain temperature so that you can get it to really spark really good, because if you don't get it, I've noticed this with files. Files don't throw as good of sparks as this spring steel does. But the harder you get it, the better it will, do its thing as far as throwing sparks. But if you get it too hard, you drop it, you're going to break it. And so I'm going to make one here on video today and show you how that I do it, and we'll talk about it. And I don't make them really fancy, I just make them functional, okay? So let me get you over here next to the anvil. My shop is full of my lawnmower this winter, so I ain't got a lot of room in here to show a whole lot of... All right, you all, one of the things that you don't want to do with carbon steel is get it to where you see the sparks coming off of it. Those little fireworks, because when you do, you're burning your piece of metal, okay? When you do that, you're burning the carbon out of it, and it actually is going to probably ruin the project. Even though it looks good, it probably is not going to either hold an edge right, or somebody's going to drop it and break the project, okay? So what I do is I cut the air way down on this stuff, and then you have to watch it, because I have turned around, and I'm just telling you this from experience. You can turn around with the air volume turned up on this thing, and you're going to get that stuff way too hot. So we don't want to do that. So this one is going to have just come to a point there on the end, you guys. Nothing fancy. That piece just fell in the ice there, you all. My buckets broke up. All right, you all, this stuff is annealed, okay? In other words, it's softened. It's made as soft as it can get when it's annealed. Now what we'll do is just draw out the other end the very same way. That's a laminated jig there, you guys, I made there years ago just to do that with, okay? See how the jig makes it work, you guys? That's one of the easiest ways to do this right here. Even if you have to forge you a jig to do it with, that's one of the easiest ways to make that flint striker right there. All right, you all. See that magnet right there? It doesn't stick to the magnet, okay? That's what you're looking for. We'll quench that thing in oil. That ought to strike a billion fires, you guys. And I'm doing that in the pitch dark, you all. I can't even see that flint. I gotta turn the light back on just to see it, just see if I can find it. All right, you guys, I will say this. I have used 1095 high carbon to make these out of. They don't make it doesn't make a really good striker, but it does make a striker that will work. If that's all you can come up with is some 1095. Also, you guys, you can use the spring steel out of an old car. This will make you really good strikers. It's a lot of work to get one of them out of a piece of this though, because this stuff's really hard to forge. So the piece of metal that I'm using today, you guys, is this spring steel. It's 3/8 of an inch round, 3/8 stock, and I'm not. Now the next one I make right here, I'm going to actually flatten it out just a little bit. So that it's flat. The other one I made perfectly round. Now this one, you all, I'm making for a teenager, okay? Somebody that doesn't have a hand as big as my hand, all right? So that's what we're doing right here. Alright, we need to flatten that out some more in this area right here. Alright, you all, this one right here is not going to work. I can actually see a crack in that piece of steel. You can see it, you can see that crack all the way across there. And where it come from, you guys, is where that it fell off of the anvil and fell into the water bucket there that's frozen up. Now that is, I'm going to show you guys this, okay, so that you understand. Yeah, even I screw up sometimes. I hope you guys can see that. Hope you, well, I don't think you can see it, but I'm going to show you something anyway. I don't think it'll be that hard to do. Shouldn't be hard to do at all, you guys. Well, quit burning myself. Let's see if we're still on there. We are. See where that broke? That's exactly what that stuff will do for you if you mess up, you all. Let me get you into the light there so you can actually see that. All right, you all. Okay, so when that piece of stuff jumped off of when I cut it loose from that other piece, it fell red hot over into that ice cold water with ice in it. And when it done that, it actually fractured this piece of metal. So it's worthless, okay? But you really can't see that until you start hammering it out into something else sometimes. And that's where you'll have your failures, right there. But you can see, I hope you guys can see that. But that's what happened. So we had a malfunction that's not going to work. This one that broke on me, you guys, had a hairline fracture in it, obviously, because when it dropped, you can see a darker place right there. Well, I can. You guys can't see it, I don't think. You can see a darker place right here that you couldn't see with the eyeball, okay? So that was a crack. Now, one of the reasons that happens to you, and I do it all the time, you guys, is you will strike that piece of metal right there when it's too cold. And when you do, you can crack or fracture your piece of metal, okay? And I think that's what I done to this one. But I'm just showing you that some of the things that I do just don't always turn out the way I want them to. I goof up every once in a while, you guys. All right, you all. In between snow squalls here. See if you all can see these sparks in the daylight. That one there is going to make somebody a really good striker. Anyway, you guys, I appreciate you watching. I really do, thank you. Since it's so cold out here, I'm not going to try to do any more forging there inside the forge there. I got that lawnmower sitting in there. It's in the way and it's not really good for filming. So I'm going to get out of here. I hope you have a great weekend. Please watch for me on Wednesday nights, you guys, at 7 o'clock. I'll be preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. Catch me on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. I will be preaching the gospel. Thank you all so much. God bless you. Have yourself a wonderful day.